Things going pretty well for you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Out of here.
What size is that?
3.5 inch.
3.5 inch.
3.5 by 1. 100 foot rolls.
Never heard of a 3.5.
It's something new.
It's something new?
It's something brand new.
Awesome, man. Love it. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Today we received our very first load of 3.5 inch pipe. Now we have 3-inch pipe to the right, the far right. We got 4-inch pipe to the far left. You can see how the 3.5 inch pipe is that ideal size for so many different applications. Now, 4-inch pipe clogs. It clogs on every branched line. Why does it clog on every branched line? Well, until you have several branches meeting into your trunk line, you're going to have clogs. You're going to be prone to clogs because you're not flowing enough water in a 4-inch pipe. The 3.5 inch pipe is going to allow you to have those branched lines. When you're running downspouts to a main trunk line that's 4-inch, they could be in 3.5. When you're running branched yard drain lines and French drains, they could be in 3.5. And oh yeah, this is going to be available in 8 slot as well. So right here you can see the 3-inch pipe next to the 3.5. You can see the difference. There's 36% greater area when you go from the 3-inch pipe to the 3.5. Now we're making the fittings as fast as we can. You know, it's one of those things. What comes first, the chicken or the egg? So now that we have the pipe, we're going to work on refining all the fittings that we were engineering for a 3.5 inch pipe. This is a 3.5 inch coupler to 3.5 inch. We have all the fittings that you need for yard drainage, basement waterproofing, agricultural drainage, road construction. In the up and coming months, all the fittings will be complete and we'll make this available to the public. Now, I wanted to let the farmers know we do have somebody that's going to take care of the ag division on this. I know that 4-inch pipe has been clogging on all the farms. The past decade, there's been a huge movement to the 3-inch pipe. Farmers are hesitant to go from 4-inch to 3-inch because they're unsure if it's going to be able to handle the volume of water. But they're forced to do it because the 4-inch lines are clogging. All their systems are failing on the farms. The 3.5 is going to be that happy medium. Now, why has there not been a 3.5 inch pipe until now? Well, simply put, the manufacturers would just tell us we have a 4-inch pipe if 3 inch is too small. 4-inch is too big, then go down to our 3-inch. It was that simple to them. The problem was going from a 3-inch line to a 4-inch line. When you compare the area of a 3-inch line to a 4-inch line, the 4-inch line is 77% greater area. It's just too big a jump. You needed something in between. Now we have the 3-inch to 3.5. When you compare the 3-inch pipe and the jump to 3.5, it gives you 36% more area. That's palatable. Now when you go from the 3.5 to 4-inch, you're looking at another 30% greater area that you gain. That makes sense to me. This should have been the way it was decades ago. Unfortunately, the manufacturers don't want to have to make all the fittings, all the tooling for all the fittings, so they want to make it as simple as possible. Now, the trunk lines typically have to be 4-inch. By the time you have all your downspouts meet up or all your yard drains meet up, you need it to have a 4-inch main trunk line. The problem is all the branch lines are clogging. So your drainage system's slowly failing because you're not flowing enough water in the branched lines. The 3.5 is going to be ideal. Once we have all the fittings, once we announce that this is for sale in our online store, of course we're going to be sending all kinds of videos showing you the proper use of 3.5-inch pipe. I know the interior basement waterproofers are going to love this pipe. I know they've been crying for this pipe as well. So this pipe is really going to roll through a lot of the main sectors of dewatering. And I think this pipe is going to become the dominant pipe. And occasionally you go to 3-inch, and then you're going to run your trunk lines on 4-inch. That's the way I see it, and that's the way I see our company going. The 3.5 is going to be clog free. Corrugated pipe, when you're flowing enough water through it, is a self-cleaning pipe because of the turbulence that's created. But you need to have enough flow of water to create the turbulence to suspend the sediment and keep the line clean and clear of all clogs. All right, everybody, if you like the products that we're bringing to the dewatering sector, as boring as our industry might be, we're trying to keep it exciting. Give us a thumbs up. It shows us that you appreciate what we're doing. I'm your host, Robert Sherwood, and until that next video.